This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. On today's episode, I meet up with Jesse. Jesse has a pro-level van build here, and the inside is spectacular. He's also a master electrician, so the electrical system is top-notch. He's gonna give us a tour inside and out, so join us.
What's up, guys? My name is Jesse Graver. I'm a master electrician and professional van builder, and today we're gonna be checking out a 2024 Mercedes Sprinter. It's a 144 wheelbase, all-wheel drive, diesel, and yeah, let's check it out. So let's start up here. This is just when you walk in, we have some storage out here. This is where we keep our water fill and an extension cord. Up here is a 12-volt USB and 120-volt combination outlet. This is our water fill. We have a 24-gallon freshwater tank inside and a 16-gallon tank underneath. Let's go inside. Here we have our oversized faucet and oversized stainless steel sink. We have on-demand hot water. What's really nice about our hot water system is an isotherm water heater. It ties into the engine bay, takes the hot water from the coolant, runs it through a heat exchanger, tempers the hot water, so every time we drive, we get hot water. We don't ever usually have to use power. If we do, we just turn on a simple switch and it'll turn on the water heater. It's not plugged in now. We don't usually use it, which is fun. And so let's talk about this cabinetry here. Down here we have a little bit of storage. It's where we keep our trash can, plenty of room for other stuff here, access to our water. This is a really cool trapless trap. Saves tons of space inside. You can see that all that goes over to this side. Close that up. Inside here we have access to all of our water components. This is our freshwater fill and all of the other components here. This is where our hydronic water heat comes through. This is just a really nice area to keep some little stuff, sponges, you know, you can fill that up with anything. What's really cool is we have a little hidden drawer right here. We can keep all our valuables in there, and you really don't know it's there unless you do. So we'll head over to, well, we'll talk about the countertop. This is like a Formica, super durable, and this is all a nice hardwood maple type of finish on the outside, locally sourced, rough cut, milled it all myself. We can go over to this area. We have our 2 swivel seats. This is a really nice use of, you know, 2 seats that are super comfortable, that are always there. In such a small area, you know, it's really hard to, you know, put a seating arrangement elsewhere. So we use these 2 swivel seats in combination with our Lagoon table here. And this becomes a place that we can eat, we can play games, we can also do all of our laptop work here too. Stores nicely over this cabinet. Just lock this in place. And we can talk about this section here. What's really nice is we have these locking cabinet pulls here. It's just a simple spring mechanism, but when you close it, it locks in place and won't come out. So we have ascending drawers here in various sizes. Plenty of room for storage. Down here is our induction cooktop. We would just simply take this out. We could either put it on our countertop, put it out on a picnic table, and yeah, that's a really nice way to handle cooking in this van. We found that when you have a cooktop inside the van, it gets so hot, so it's just a nice option to be able to take it outside. Over here we have, of course, safety first. We have our fire extinguisher, fire alarm, carbon monoxide. Of course, we have another 12-volt USB outlet. This is our controller for our Velit diesel heater, which is installed underneath the passenger seat. What's really nice about this is it taps directly into our diesel gas tank. So we basically have unlimited heat in the winter. Up here is our insulated window covers. Stores really nicely on this shelf. It's a full set, and then we have a custom window cover here too that will cover this custom window enclosure here. Let's move on to our upper cabinetry. This is basically where we store all of our food, our dishes, and our clothing. These are all super nice We decided not to put any handles on it, so we didn't catch it, but we made these really nice details for finger pulls, and of course the hydraulics to have them close and stay closed when we're driving. Okay, we also have under cabinet lighting, which is really nice. Super bright, just nice for, you know, taking care of business here when you're prepping food, all that. Of course we have, well, this is a brand new product. It's a Le Mans fan. So on the roof we have 450 watts of solar, and the only reason we could really fit that is because of this particular fan, and it installs underneath the solar panel. It's non-operable, not like a max air fan, so it just stays put. And if we turn on this switch here, this louver will open, and then we can turn on the fan, and it sucks air out whenever we need to. So really nice replacement for max air fan, really like that. Here is our centerpiece here. This is our Victron Energy Cerbo GX touchscreen. It kind of shows us basically everything we need to know for our electrical system. You can see right now we're actually in the shade and we're getting some solar, so we're getting about 250 watts right now. We might be getting more if it wasn't 100% charged. Right now our inverter charger is off. We have a 3000 watt multi-plus. It's really simple to turn on, just like that. You'll hear it, just clicked on. And you can see that our AC loads are here. It's another view. DC loads, battery, and of course we have an alternator charger too. This is a really nice touch screen, really nice interface. It also tells us other things like our water level. Like right now we have 59% in our freshwater tank, nothing in our gray water tank, and it also tells us the temperature inside and out and relative humidity, which is really nice. Plenty of other things too, lots of different views. It kind of tells you when you're charging, when you're not charging. We have this panel here, which will come out and leaves all the wiring accessible. As an electrician, it's really important for me to just make sure that everything is accessible, everything can be replaced, everything can be accessed. Let's say that you know, we wanted to put another light in here one day. Well, I have wire pass all throughout this whole van that I can get to my power system and get back anywhere. In fact, this whole ceiling will come down. This is a removable ceiling because there's, you know, connections, say for our air conditioner, our fan. These are all things that need to be accessed. So it was important for me to leave this whole ceiling panel comes down. It's pretty large. You would need 2 people to bring it down, but it is possible just in case you needed to. Here we can talk about the DC fridge. This is really important in an off-grid camper van. A DC fridge is going to be about the most efficient fridge you can put in. It's always going to be on, so you really want to make sure that you get an efficient one that is running directly off of your battery power. This is the factory floor. We chose to go with the factory floor because of its durability. You know, this van is, we want it to be a multi-use van, not only camping, but what's really nice is this whole bed platform, it actually comes out. So it's in a 3-section piece, and each section will come out. It's not, you know, when you remove it, you know, you'd have to remove the bed too, which is no problem. We just store it sometimes. So we can talk about, this is a really cool maple light fixture that I custom built for this, on a dimmer naturally. Just create some really nice indirect light for the van when we're parked, kind of off-gridding. It's a nice light just for kind of being inconspicuous. Here we have our, this is a really cool window. This is our bug screen, and then a nice slider. So this is just going to make some really nice airflow through here, and in combination with all of our other windows, we have a slider here, and with our fan, we get some really good airflow coming through here. Speaking about airflow, we have a Velit DC powered air conditioner. This is going to run directly off of our battery bank. We were really impressed with the functionality of this air conditioner. We used it nearly every single night, and once it's cool in here, it kind of stops using power and just keeps the air tempered. So we would wake up many times with, you know, more than, you know, 50, 60, sometimes 70% battery, even after all night of using the air conditioner. It was really nice. Here we have our Trelino composting toilet. You can see that it's It's a very simple toilet. That's what we liked about it. It was easy to use, easy to maintain. We also have some nice storage here. Lots of toilet paper, composting bags, you know, whatever you need there. Kind of just your toiletries and such. And yeah, let's talk about this. This is kind of like an auxiliary seat. A lot of times we would just hang out here. If we ever wanted another guest in here, they could just hang out there. Our dog would sometimes sleep in there. And it was easy for my wife to get up onto the bed since it sits higher, because you want a lot of storage underneath the bed. Yeah, let's talk about the flares. These are capsules. I think they're really slick. We'll check them out when we go outside. This is a full bed, so we get a 54 by 78 inch bed in here. I'm 6 foot, and I slept really comfortably in here. So yeah, we really like that. The window covers in the back are all Van Essential. They're insulated blackout covers, and then of course all your custom little pieces of maple paneling. You know, all the doors are insulated, all the walls are insulated with you know, Thinsulate, Havlock wool, and a really cool EPDM insulation called Armorflex. A little hard to get a hold of, but it's a nice product. Up top, we have 450 watts of solar. Again, we were only able to fit that because of that really cool Le Mans fan. So a great product there. We have a stealth roof rack, which actually makes it hard to see the solar panels. It's kind of the point. And that's from White Top Adventures. We really like that one. Easy to install. And here are our flares. We did a custom Rhino lining on it. This is super durable surface, really nice. And yeah, it's just a really great product. These were pretty easy to install. Back here, we have our bike hitch here. It's a really nice swing hitch. It's super easy to operate, but super stable. Yeah, thank you. This can hold 250 pounds. So you can put multiple bikes on here, maybe even e-bikes. Okay, obviously we have this step back here, and this is where it gets really good. So in here we have our electrical system. This is the powerhouse of our entire van and what allows us to off-grid camp. So I'll go over each component. The big blue box here is our 3000 watt inverter charger. This is what allows us to use high power 120 volt appliances, such as our induction cooktop or our water kettle to boil water for coffee in the morning. We try to limit its use almost always because it takes so much power. That's a big reason why we use appliances like the Velit DC and the DC fridge, because you're using a lot of power with either one of those. You want to keep it efficient as possible. And they're going to draw their power directly from these lithium batteries. These are Battleborn 100 amp hours. We chose these batteries because we think they're the highest quality battery on the market. They're all American made, and they stand by their warranties like to a T. So we deal with them a lot. We really like the batteries, super high quality. This is our distribution, a Lynx distributor. This is going to be where a number of fuses are. This is our alternator charger, or DC to DC charger. This is going to produce 50 amps from the alternator to the battery bank whenever it's on. And this is like an equivalent of a 700 watt solar array. So it's really a big advantage if you compare it to that. And it's very reliable as well. We also have our Victron MPPT solar controller back here. That's just going to take our unregulated solar voltage and create a proper charging profile for the lithium batteries. And of course, we have our overcurrent protection here. These serve as disconnect switches and breakers. We have a really nice distribution here. We do sell these units here too, but it's just a really simple way to distribute all the branch circuits throughout the entire van. We also have a Cerbo GX unit in there, which is a really nice feature that connects all the components together, allows them to communicate, and a really nice feature is that you can connect it to the internet, and I can monitor these systems from anywhere in the world. Really cool stuff. Up top here, we have this is a battery monitor auxiliary, so it's just going to show things like percentage, state of charge, you know, how many hours we have left, temperature, voltage, all the good stuff, our light switch, and then the USB, and of course another 120 volt outlet. We do have passive venting here. On many of our systems we install 12 volt fans, but In this system, we use so little of the inverter, which causes most of the heat in this system. We don't use it much, so it doesn't run that often. It doesn't get that hot. So we'll talk about the inverter charger a little more. That also handles our shore power. And a lot of people tend to put in 30 amp shore power plugs, but we didn't need that in ours because we don't really use a whole lot of 120 volt power. So here's the other side of that capsule. This is the larger side. Again, we put that nice durable surface on there. Never gonna scratch, never gonna get damaged. And we also did the same for all these running boards here too. Just a really nice way to, I think, finish the van. Looks really good, matches the running boards, gives it a little bit of an aggressive look. And I really think it's a nice finish just for durability as well. All right, so let's talk about this side. This is our water system. This houses a 24-gallon fresh water. Inside here, you can see we have access to all of our valves and pumps. On this side, a little bit harder to see, we have our Isotherm water heater. This whole cover is completely removable. We have 2 screws and a couple toggle clamps here that we take those off, and this whole cover comes off and allows us accessibility to not even, I mean everything, the water tank, all the valves, all the components. If anything ever goes bad, I mean, they're replaceable. You know, these things are all under warranty, so you need the option to get in there, and a lot of people tend to bury these things. So as a technician, as an installer, it's really just super important to get a hold of this. This is our outdoor shower connection, and this is just kind of where we put that here. This would just simply connect into here like that. Just acts as like a nice, you know, for washing our bikes off. We also do carry like a little suction cup here and a little shower surround if we ever wanted to take a shower outside. This is a valve just to drain the fresh water tank. That's that.
Jesse, I appreciate you taking the time today to give us a tour of your awesome creation.
Thanks, appreciate
now,
that.
You had another camper van prior, and you traveled for what, a year on the road?
That's correct. Me and my wife sold our first house, moved into our first van, traveled for a year, completely off-grid, never plugged into shore power, never ran a generator, completely off of solar and alternator charging. We found out, you know, it was a proof of concept. We did it, and we proved it. We shared it with other people. Now we basically built a business on it. Now we install off-grid electrical systems for other people. That's my full-time career now. But my side career is building vans, and a passion of mine as well. So this is our second van. My wife and I were also fortunate enough to travel for 4 weeks up to Nova Scotia. We started in New York, went to the very tip, the very north port of Nova Scotia, came all the way back. Again, never plugged in, never ran a generator. Just worked even better than our first. We learned a lot of things from our first van that we wouldn't have known, but we incorporated them into this van, and you're really just getting to see the product of that. Here's just another view of the bed here. It's in there pretty good because if it's not in there, it rattles. Anything inside a van that's not super secure is going to give you a lot of noise, but you can tell that doesn't make any noise. When the bed's off, it's really quite simple. It's just a tenon type of connection here. She's nice, meaty. This is all hardwood maple. You know, it's just like maple beams here. So each one is made of 1.5 inch by 3 inch maple. I mean, it's solid. You can really feel like it's not going anywhere.
Plus, you have plenty of room to sit up in bed too, right?
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
This is all spaced accordingly, and it's the least amount of waste of space you could possibly get.
Yep.
My take on this van, it's elegant, it's simple, it's easy to wipe down and clean. This is all maple wood, but it's finished, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We put multiple layers of polyurethane on every surface. You know, if you don't, what ends up happening is that, you know, your skin oil and just, you know, anything that you spill on it is going to absorb straight into this. But this is all finished maple. You know, we have a lot of holes through here just for breathability. You know, these are all really important factors that, you know, you just have to think of all the little things, all the little nuances that come with it. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble down the road, especially moisture, and the finishes really protect against that too. So.
And as a master electrician in the van trade, maybe someone's building their own van and they get to the point where the electrical's out of their realm. That's what you're doing. You're building these modules for them, custom built to their needs?
Yeah, absolutely. We deal with RVs of any size. So this is about one of the smaller camper vans you can have. And then we go up to massive Class A's with thousands of watts of solar, dozens of solar controllers, multiple inverters, massive systems. So yeah, we deal with a lot. We also deal with a lot of camper vans that are DIY and they try it. And I always say that a system can work, but it might not be safe. So a lot of times we get camper vans that come straight to our door and they got melted fuses, damaged inverters, and these are expensive products, and lithium batteries are super energy dense. They're quite frankly dangerous, and people think that it's a 12-volt system, it's going to be easy to work on. This inverter itself can pull 250 amps. That's more than most people's electrical service in their house. It's very dangerous. So people very quickly realize that they can get in over their heads. If you're not comfortable changing a main breaker in your electrical panel of your house, you're probably not qualified to install inverters either. But with enough research, we get a lot of people that try to, and like I said, most of them work, but most of them aren't safe either.
And we talked a little bit off camera. Some of these vans that come in, it's almost a complete gut job because they use the wrong type of wire.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about?
Sure, yeah. A lot of times we see it's almost like a gimmick. They'll sell. Wire is rated by amperage. Okay, so a particular wire can handle a certain amount of current. So people look for a size that they think is appropriate, but then they buy a wire that's aluminum with a copper clad on it. Okay, and so aluminum is a poor conductor, at least not as good as pure copper. And so they think they're getting the right wire. They install everything to spec, and their wires are still melting, and fuses are still, blowing because they're not getting the right current through the wire. We see that a lot too, which is unfortunate. It's more just them being sold on a product that's kind of misleading. But there's so many nuances to these systems. Even the type of fuses you use. It's really it's a dangerous game you can play sometimes.
And all this is marine grade wiring in here?
Correct, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, we use only Ancor tinned marine grade wires. All this equipment that we install, it's all marine grade. It's where it originated from. They're meant for boats. And quite frankly, you wouldn't think like you would need that in here, but you have to mitigate moisture in any camper van or any RV. There's so much moisture, especially in campers, being basically in a tin can. So yeah, you have to manage that really quite well. Some people we find use just like typical house wire, like Romex in the walls, another really poor choice. You really need that flexibility from the stranded wire. Over time, I say it's like an earthquake inside and a hurricane outside. Over time, a solid wire just keeps working and working and working, and eventually just breaks. And you hope that it just breaks and nothing happens, but really what can happen is it breaks and hits ground or hits your chassis, and it becomes dangerous, quite frankly. So yeah, there's just so many little details that you have to watch out for in electrical.
Well, I think the build is amazing. The electrical work is beautiful to even look at.
Thank you.
How do our viewers get in touch with you if they need help with their electrical system on an RV?
Yeah, of course. We have a website, powerofadventure.us, and we have a bunch of social media sites that you can check out from there too. Check out our work. Take a lot of pride. I'm a union electrician. Went for my master's electrical license. I've been a commercial, industrial electrician for a long time. And just really got to know all the products and the best things to use, the best practice from a really good group of people, a lot of good foremen that I stand on the shoulders of, and I bring that to all my work now. So.
And we also talked off camera. I said, I'm going to showcase this van to showcase your work, but then my viewers are going to want to buy the thing, right? That always happens. They're like, hey, would you sell it? So if you get to the point where you decide you want to sell it, I guess you'll have the link on your website, or?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we love the van. We'd hate to see it go, but we sold our first van, and it turned into this project, which the thing is, I love traveling in these vans as much as I love building them. So yeah, I guess it's not out of the question, but
that's good that you like both, because I feature a lot of people that do DIY builds, and they just loved building it. When it's done, they get bored.
Really? No, my wife wouldn't have that. No, we got to travel in it. So we had to shake this thing down. We had to make sure it worked. It exceeded our expectations, and yeah, we're ready for the winter trips now. We're gonna do some snowboarding up in Vermont, I think, this year, and yeah, we'll put it through its paces this winter. Put that diesel heater to the test too.
Well, awesome. Thanks again for stopping by New Jersey for a tour while you're on your way on a business trip. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I'll put those links in the description, and I'll see you next time.